Dead Code Diaries.
You ordinary warning. Daniel Mercer woke up to the sound of rain against his bedroom window. The patter was steady, almost soothing, and for a moment he lay in bed, staring at the faint light creeping through the curtains. 32 years old, working as an IT technician, his life had become a series of monotonous routines. Coffee, commute, cubicle, repeat. This morning was no different. He yawned, rubbed his eyes, and sat up in bed. The clock read 6:13 a.m. He was supposed to be up at 6:30, but something had stirred him earlier than usual. A strange heaviness in the air. Shrugging it off, Daniel swung his legs off the bed and walked to the kitchen. He brewed coffee, scrolling absently on his phone. Everything was normal, quiet, boring even. But as he sipped his coffee, something unsettled him. He couldn't quite put his finger on it. It felt like someone was watching. A night that changed. That evening, Daniel came home late from work. He microwaved leftovers, showered, and got into bed. The rain hadn't let up. Thunder rolled faintly in the distance. At 2:47 a.m., Daniel woke suddenly. His heart was pounding, though he didn't know why. The room was pitch black, save for the dim glow of the streetlight outside. He sensed it before he saw it. A presence. Something looming above him. Slowly, Daniel opened his eyes wider and froze. Standing over his bed, hunched slightly forward, was a hobo clown. The figure wore tattered suspenders, mismatched shoes, and a stained button-down shirt. Its painted face was cracked, the red smile smeared unevenly across pale skin. A battered top hat sagged to one side. The clown's eyes, wide, wet, and gleaming, fixed on him. Daniel's breath caught in his throat. The clown tilted its head, and for the faintest second, its lips curled upward, a painted grin. Memories resurface. Daniel flicked on the lamp with shaking hands, and the clown was gone. The room was empty. His heart thundered, sweat dampening his forehead. He tried to convince himself it was a dream, sleep paralysis, anything logical, but deep down, something gnawed at him. Because the clown wasn't unfamiliar. The patched suspenders, the crooked hat, the painted smile. It was Patches, the clown from his childhood. When Daniel was little, his father, Edward Mercer, used to dress as Patches the hobo clown for parties, charity events, even to cheer him up when he was sad. Patches had been a goofy, lovable figure. But Edward had died when Daniel was only 8. Car accident, a memory Daniel carried like a scar. So how could Patches be standing in his bedroom decades later? The haunting escalates. The next night, Daniel woke again around 3 a.m. This time, laughter filled the air. Not loud laughter, but a soft, wet chuckle. He turned his head slowly, dread freezing him. There was Patches, crouched in the far corner of the room. The painted grin caught in the lamplight. His head twitched, his shoulders bobbing with that hideous laugh. Daniel reached for his phone, but when the flashlight clicked on, the corner was empty. Only faint, muddy footprints trailed across his carpet. Cracks in sanity. Over the next week, Daniel's life unraveled. At work, he saw reflections of Patches in computer screens, always behind him. In his apartment, objects moved when he wasn't looking. A squeaky red nose appeared on his kitchen counter one morning. His father's old photo, hidden in a drawer, was suddenly taped to his bathroom mirror. In his dreams, he was a child again, but instead of laughter, Patches whispered things he couldn't understand. His painted grin stretching impossibly wide. Sleep-deprived and paranoid, Daniel called his mother. "Mom," he said, voice shaking, "did Dad ever dress as Patches outside of parties?" Silence, then a sharp inhale.
Daniel, don't talk about him like that.
Like what?
As Patches. That wasn't a costume.
The horrible truth. His mother finally confessed. Edward Mercer had never been a clown for hire. He never performed at parties. The costume was part of something darker. He would vanish at night, dressed as Patches, coming home with blood on his clothes. People in their neighborhood had disappeared. When Edward died in the car crash, the killings stopped. Daniel's mother buried the truth, hoping her son would never know. But Daniel remembered differently. He remembered laughing with Patches, not fearing him. He remembered joy, not horror. Until now. The final night. The rain poured harder than ever. Daniel awoke at 3 a.m. sharp. His room smelled of grease paint and rot. The sound of squeaky shoes echoed softly. Slowly, he looked up. Patches was standing right over him, closer than ever. The smeared, red grin split unnaturally wide. His voice rasped, guttural, not human. "You never forgot me, Danny boy!" Daniel screamed, throwing himself from the bed. He bolted for the door, but the apartment was wrong. The hallway stretched impossibly long, circus posters peeling from the walls. The air reeked of popcorn and mold. From the shadows, other figures emerged, dozens of them, all dressed as clowns. Painted smiles, rotting flesh, eyes that glowed like lanterns. And at the center, Patches raised his arms.
Welcome home, son!
Daniel's throat tightened. His vision blurred. He looked down. His hands were covered in grease paint. A red nose sat on his face. The other clowns began to cheer, stomping, howling. And in that moment, Daniel realized the truth. He hadn't been haunted by Patches. He was becoming him. Epilogue. The next morning, Daniel's neighbors reported strange noises in the night. Laughter, music, the honking of horns. But when police arrived, his apartment was empty. Only a cracked top hat and smeared red paint on the walls remained. No sign of Daniel Mercer. Only the faint sound of circus music, echoing long after it should have stopped.